No one knows. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Meringolo. Welcome to Tuesday night. He's Kevin Ricca.
Oh, man, I know we're all getting a little bit edgy, but let's just relax. And I'm not edgy because everyone on this panel, his last name ends in a vowel. That's what makes me feel confident.
It is true.
But let's not get too edgy. We're going to be all right. Let's embrace what we've done so far tonight.
By means of introduction, the young man sitting to my right is an old friend of everybody on the show year-round, George Gareda. We appreciate you hanging out with us tonight.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. Let's go.
Never afraid to lend his voice to...
I have lots of opinions. I'm going to share them all tonight.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's just keep it to the Redskins, please, George.
Okay.
Initially.
I was told this was First Amendment.
You got it. All right, whatever chaps your ass, let it rip.
Start now.
J-Dubs, Ken Harris, Keegan on the board, EO, NES. Good to see all you guys. And you know what?
Get on the board.
No Greg Martin, and he's missing crown molding. If anyone loves crown molding, it's Greg. He's getting crown molding tonight.
My wife's been begging for the GD crown molding in the living room.
It makes a difference. It makes such a difference. You got to let her have it.
What I was told is
You're right.
if you have a show of a one-shot with both Kevin Ricca and George Gareda in it, it's going to be...
I know.
By
look how far away you
definition,
made
by
us.
definition, a wide shot. By definition, a wide. I mean,
This is
it's
bullshit. George
Kevin,
was
I
great.
I had to annex property from my neighbor's house.
Wow.
Put the camera over there. Okay, anyways,
I'm 6.2 down on Lent. Thank you
it's
very much.
true. My BMI is morbidly obese. Even though I'm bringing you the
Creamy ass
the
arms
creamy
back
ass
in the house.
biceps ever the basement has ever seen.
Ken, I think you might be curdling. Sorry.
They're milky. Paul Western, nice to see you, sir. We're going to talk obviously about the latest and greatest in Redskins territory. Nothing official. We're just full on tampering. That's why we brought George.
I can say whatever I want.
No one tampers like a legal Cuban.
I'm here legally. Yes.
Okay. We're just making sure. Just making sure.
I mean, Jesus, Ice.
Starting right off the
Oh,
bat.
yes.
Kenny Ice over
I
here.
like
Sheesh.
Longtime Redskins family, all the way down the line. So the cool thing about what's happening right now is, without having to deal with anything, no news conferences and press conferences, we just all of a sudden just randomly know all the people that are coming and going. Let's start, I thought, with the idea, like, before this whole thing started, we basically had, a half a roster-ish.
We did.
And for that...
27 to 29-ish.
It's the most continuity possible for a team that started with that few guys on the roster. You look at some of the moves, quote unquote moves they made. They looked inward a lot, and I think that's going to be a theme when we talk about the players. The other thing, Kevin, I have down scheme based tinkering. Like they were willing to let a couple guys go to bring in somebody else, add her around the same amount of money, maybe almost even the same age at a couple different positions. And that is, I think, that the organization willing to tinker on a very scheme based. That kind of ran through all these additions. What do you got?
Scheme based tinkering.
Scheme based tinkering
due to scheme based. You ran it back on the B side, which I do appreciate.
It's an anagram.
It's.
Tell them what you told them. Tell them what you told them. Tell them what you told them.
Yes.
There you go.
Now it's in there.
Right.
But also,
SBT.
it's true-ish. I mean, look, if you look at Kinlaw and you look at Jonathan Allen, obviously we got him on the cheap, younger, longer, little, maybe more athletic. I don't know. But if we're talking about a scheme-based scenario, well, his previous D-line coach from San Fran sitting right in-house with the guy that brought him in there anyways. I think they understand exactly what they got with him. They understand that he went through some injuries and some health stuff with them. But in that 2023 playoff run, he was a dominant badass. So I'm going to focus on that part.
Kevin, as much as I have stated how much I love a bare front, might not love something else. Only one thing I love more than that, that's an elephant end. That whole concept that Dan Quinn played out in Seattle, putting a big, strong guy on the edge to set the edge and push everything back on the inside. He's not going to play nose tackle, where he did not play that great with the Jets. He's going to be an elephant end. It's a great evolution. I mean, we're going to get used to that term.
Kinlaw said that he's going to be an elephant end.
I think Kinlaw. I think he knows he's going to be an elephant end.
Okay.
But I think that's the the idea. Like again, scheme
Did
based.
he play that with the Jets? Was he elephant end with the Jets?
I think he played it a little bit. So Dan Quinn did that in Seattle.
Yeah.
That was his scheme in out in Seattle. He put a big guy and pushed everything inside to collapse on the quarterback. That's interesting, because Adam Peters said straight up, it's X amount of height, X amount of pounds, X amount of reach on these positions that he's getting, and so far he's hitting some. Kev, since you brought him up, we're just going to start there. And here he is. I mean, he's a huge defensive lineman. He's not, we have Johnny Newton still, we have Payne still. He's going to play a lot of snaps, and he's going to do that elephant end game. I mean,
It's never said 5 times. I've never said it or heard it.
I've never heard of it either.
I just feel like you have to be a big trunk swinger if you're going to be an elephant end.
I'm just you'd grown tired of bare front, and I was so excited today. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Oh, God,
it's the era of the elephant end. Anyways, he addresses our number one thing because Kevin, as you know, this whole offseason, our entire job number 1, 2, and 3 is to
We got to stop the run,
stop
Ken.
the run.
Got to stop the run.
That's the only thing that matters. As much as I love Deebo Samuel, he can't stop the run. This big guy, Javon. Are we saying Javon or Javon?
Javon. Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you guys a question. So, talking about elephant end, DN, whatever. $30 million guaranteed signing bonus for this guy. He's 27. He's played 1 full season, essentially. Right. I know that he was drafted. It makes me a little bit nervous. I'm still in the trust Adam Peters phase because he's obviously done some great results, but it makes me a little bit nervous to bring him basically in for the same money that you would have paid Jonathan Allen.
Less, well, $5 million a year less.
Okay.
That's
a little
part
bit
of
younger.
it. And then a little bit younger.
So what? Kinlaw's 27. Jonathan Allen's what?
30
Is he 30?
ish. I think it's 30, 29, 30.
Can I don't know whether I'm allowed to say this or not, but
I want to hear it.
But what I would just say is I want to just stop and point out the fact that we actually have a good organization now, and I love that they tried to allow Jonathan Allen to go find a trade for himself before they ended up just releasing him.
That was super cool.
I love that. Like, it makes me happy. He was a good guy for us for 7 years. He's been through a lot of downs, the one little up, and then it's time to go. But I love that that's the kind of organization.
It was the right thing to do.
I agree. As San Fran did for Debo, and we got him in that same.
Was that the same
way.
thing? Yeah,
same thing. I mean, Debo came out and said, "I love what those guys did for me, and what they did for my career, and that I can come out here, and that they let me come to a place where I wanted." We would have never done. We would have sent someone to Siberia.
Right.
It was ridiculous. But yeah, I thought that was super cool. It really shows who we are. George, I agree, man. You feel like proud of that. You're like, this is a great place to work.
You feel proud and you just feel like not embarrassed.
Exactly. I agree.
That's what we've been for the last 30 years. Enough of that. Sorry.
Well, I mean, the Kinlaw addition to the defense changes what we do because Jonathan Allen wasn't lining up on the outside the way Kinlaw will, and that's not
Or
Allen's game.
Because we also can bring Kinlaw in when we need.
Of course,
to.
of course,
I mean,
he can be rotational on the inside.
Cool.
But watching the philosophy of what they want to do shape like the kind of guy that they go and get. I like that.
Yes.
Again, we hired Dan Quinn for many reasons, a lot of which he's already hit on, the ability for him to lead in the way he did the first year, but also we brought in his defensive mind. He's a defensive coordinator. When you hire a head coach, they're almost always either defensive or offensive. Obviously, you get your special teams, hardball guys, but he's a defensive guy. We want his defensive genius. He's been in the league a long time. He knows what he's doing, and this is his chance yet again. He's done it in multiple places, but his chance yet again to mold a defense built around his philosophy, and they're starting from the ground up. And like this Kinlaw move to me is cool because they allowed Adam Peters and Joe Witt to say he can do it better than Jonathan Allen would do it. But in a similar fashion, they changed out Jeremy Chin for Will Harris.
Yes, but hold on real quick. The money you were talking about when you were talking about Kinlaw, it's a little bit alarming. And it's the new school free agency, and defensive linemen are getting paid out the asshole right now. And you've seen it. The numbers are getting higher and higher, the edges and the tackles. But when you lock up a guy that fits what you want, and that's your price point, that's your budget, and you've got that. I mean, I think but I agree, George.
You're not paying numbers.
I wasn't like. Yeah. I was thinking now though. I wasn't like, what the fuck are we doing? I was like,
check this contract out.
This is neat. This is neat. What Adam Peters thinks he's got here. Let's find out.
Him.
$7.5 million for year one. $18 million in the second year, but if cut after the first year, we get $4.8 million cap hit. $19 million in the third year. But if we cut after 2 years, it's 13.6 in cap savings. This is a real friendly deal.
It's a 2-year gig.
This is a real friendly deal,
and it's not that bad.
No,
and,
really
and Adam Peters liked him early on, so he drafted him out there, and you got him coming. So let me just play a little devil's advocate here. You're talking about Dan Quinn ran this in Seattle. Well, he didn't run this in Dallas, right? You got like the Micah Parsons opposite of that, right? So
Micah Parsons.
You can run both within the same defense. It's not just, you know what I mean? Like, that's why you can interchange guys. When you're in a run situation, you can have that big.
So first and second down,
elephant and
we're corner.
I mean, wasn't he Legion of Boom?
I see him coming out here. There's there's peanuts everywhere.
Is that a Ken phrase, or is that like?
I've never heard it said before tonight.
It's not. I didn't make
it up. Can we crowdsource this? Can somebody Google?
I have never heard it. I've said it once.
I was told there'd be no fact checkers on this show.
It was called Red something or other, Red Brian or something or whatever.
Were you on a different website called Elephant Ass right before we got here?
He liked the idea of the bigger, trainer? Athletic, to set the edge and push everyone back inside. I get that. And when someone can do that every time, that allows so much other stuff to go on. They call it the elephant end.
Right. Well, this is why we thought Myles Garrett was is the perfect person for that position, because he's got the elephant.
Yes.
He's got it all.
Oh God, he's a prototype.
Yes, he is.
And I think Micah Parsons can also play. He can play anything you want him to play, but he can play that too.
Oh, can I also just see? Did you see what Micah Parsons' reaction was to that signing? WTF.
I loved it.
And he said, WTF. I'm like, oh, how many years does he have left on his contract? They just re-signed him, didn't they? Or?
We got 2 more left.
They haven't re-signed him.
Come on.
Come
on, Micah.
So, Jerry Jones does not let Micah Parsons ever hit the market. And you'd have to come so high off the top rope and not be the Redskins to even try.
Yeah, I know.
For that. So, unfortunately, but
shots fired.
He
knows what he was saying with
he's
that.
the number one player in this offensive everything. And what was I saying before? Wasn't Dan Quinn Legion of Boom? I mean, wasn't he? So he knew, he played to the strengths of his personnel, and
because of the elephant end.
And they had an elephant end, and no one even knew it at the time.
He also talks about how much he delved into the new NFL with that old Tampa 2 defense they were running in the Seattle version of it, and how he had to adapt to what the new rules are and what he did in Dallas, and we thought about it for the whole offseason, because he's a psychopath maniac who I love. Shout out Dan Quinn doing the 100th Salisbury University. I mean, that's the 100th. Cool. And then he gets to be the graduation. What is it called? The guy?
Commencement speaker?
Yeah, thank you guys. You guys are so good at this.
You're going to be a commencement speaker someday. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people are they're already lining up.
All that wisdom.
I mean, it's at all the special
You have
needs
to know the
schools.
word commencement, though, first, I think, right?
You don't have to. I don't think that's a thing.
Nah, you're right.
I mentioned it before. I don't want to just leave it hanging, and I don't think we need to spend a ton of time on it.
Were you still talking elephant end? Go ahead. Stop.
Let's take Javon down, and let's put Will up. So we got Will Harris in at safety. He will be our starting safety in week 1. That is how it is going to be. We can talk about, was this the plan all along? I don't know. Jeremy Chin didn't break the bank with his 2-year, $16 million deal. Was he an all-star for us at safety this year? No, but I liked him.
I liked him too. I think they liked him. I don't think they liked him for more than 2 and 16. Though I think that's just obviously what happened.
I think they liked him because he just looked good in the pads. Like he looked the part. He looked big. But he
laid the wood.
He didn't make as many plays as I kind of
ball hit him in the hands a couple times.
Couple times.
Yeah. No, you're 100%.
He was fine.
I
but
he wasn't
like must have.
No,
sad to see him go.
I wanted to keep him, but I was not at that position. We all know there's only so much money to be spent, and obviously we're balling on a budget here because we got 2 years, $8 million. But this dude's also played outside, inside. He's played linebacker. He's played strong and free.
Chin.
Wait,
no,
Harris.
Will Harris is 2 years, $8 million, right?
2 years, $8 million. Yeah. Exactly half.
I mean,
exactly half.
It's minimum wage. It's minimum wage. I mean,
and he's got some thump to him. If you've seen his highlights, he plays. They say he plays behind his pads. That means he is kind of a badass for his size, which isn't that big.
What's his story? Why is he got drafted by Detroit 3rd round Raider, and then he jumped over to the Saints after
he's a
1
professional
year?
safety.
He got hurt in Detroit.
Okay.
And in a final contract year, so he had to go a 1 year prove it, and then he only played 7 games, I think. Down.
Yeah.
New Orleans Saints did their own Adam Peters. They picked up Justin Reed from the Chiefs, 8-year safety. So now Justin Reed is going to. The musical chairs at safety. I think it's a great position to churn, unless you land on like a Kyle Hamilton, like Baltimore, or some of these bigger guys coming out.
Get back to the great position to churn. What is it?
safety.
Got it. I agree.
Elephant in.
Couldn't agree more.
Keep working out until you find something that works, but you're never afraid to switch to another 6'3", 225-pound, athlete in the back of your defense.
With a heat-sinking missile for a face, and he just freaking understands the game. I love this. I love that the Saints did not want to let him go. They were high on him, just the general public.
I mean, how do you...
That's not often that happens in this day and age.
How do we win? They weren't willing to pay him $8 million over 2 years. That's crazy. Because they paid Justin Reed a lot more.
Well, the Saints are in salary cap hell.
I was going to say, what's their situation?
They're negative like a bunch. They got to figure something out. They just restructured Carr. They don't even want him in the building, but they need his cash. So they're like, "Can you stand here and hold the clipboard?" He's like, "I can." Thanks for having me.
It's a great job.
It's like freaking. He just got a chunk of change front loaded so they can do some cap business, and they don't even want him. It's so weird, but they're in hell, so that's why.
All right, so sticking with the theme of guys who we picked up from out of town, if I could say such a thing. Here's another one. Just your really franchise level.
Look at that C up on that chest right
left tackle, Laremy Tunsil. There are other pictures. I know everyone loves other pictures of him. We've all seen them. I don't need to
That'll
play
be for after the Super Bowl, everybody. Just take it easy. That's a post-Super Bowl
Let me ask you guys a quick question, totally off topic.
Did we answer your first question?
My interruption?
Do we answer your first question? I also make sure.
I don't know. I've lost track of what it was.
Ask us this question then.
So my 7-year-old son, Andrew, asked me this question, and I didn't know how to answer. He goes, "Why do you have the C on his chest?" I go, "He's the captain." He goes, "What are the stars? How come some of the stars are only 1 star and some of them are gold? Some of them are..." Do you guys know the answer to this?
It's a measurement system.
It's
each year, dude.
Yeah,
it's each year.
That's all?
So you get the C, 1, 2, 3, 4 stars, and then when they turn the C gold, that's their 5th. And then
right there, Laramie looks like that.
Didn't know.
That looks like a thick ass 4 right there.
Okay. I'm just trying to teach your audience,
Best thing
totally
you can
regret
do,
inviting me now. This guy knows nothing.
When thankfully you came tonight because I was able to teach you about the WCC and St. Mary's Gonzaga coming up here. When you have the mission for this team, this front office team is the same one that we saw Kansas City has, by the way, gotten so aggressive at it. Is when you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, you do everything in your power that you can to try to put the right people in front of them. We had to put somebody better in one of the most crucial positions, and Laremy Tunsil is a very upper end left tackle in the National Football League. He's 30 years old.
Very upper end. Second in the last 3 years. His pass rush percentage is second in the league behind Tristan Wirfs. He's a bad son of a bitch.
It's a huge get. It's a huge get, and it's shocking. By the way, as much of a talent upgrade as that it is, and everyone nobody will ever win any argument arguing that Laremy Tunsil isn't one of the top 2 or 3 left tackles in this league. He just is, and everyone knows it. So why was he available? I don't know. He's moved around a little bit, but one thing's for sure, he makes our team so much better at the position he's playing, plus a second offensive line position. So we said we needed to upgrade 2 positions. Laremy Tunsil, that trade was for 2 offensive line positions. That's gigantic because not only will Jaden Daniels have Laremy Tunsil in front of him for, God willing, 3 or 4 years minimum, but then Brandon Coleman also gets to be on that same offensive line on the other side, where he just went through the fire, baptism by fire on the left side this season.
Played great.
Wildly swing tackle, no corny.
How about the fact, I get that, but how about the fact that we got Laremy Tunsil? How about the fact that we pull his ass out of all this? There's not one idiot ever mentioned his name connected with us. We are sealed shut. We are a vault now. There's no more bullshitting around. Nobody saw anything written in the tea leaves. No dumbass.
What are the Texans doing?
Unless Ep.4 is trying to claim that. What a dick that guy is. I mean, honestly, he's a chode. He's the worst of all time.
Jason, JLC.
I just have to get it off my chest.
All right, okay, that's fine. It's
what
first time in sports. We're here for you.
Oh, sir, if you see the laundry list of what he's done to your franchise, honestly, plus he went to Loyola Baltimore. We played against him.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if he was
high school.
He went to Loyola Blakefield High School.
Solely the good name of the Greyhounds.
And he resembles a pillowcase with a merkin and some glasses. Mostly is what he looks like.
Got it.
You got it?
Got it.
He was the NFL insider that fraudulently said he had all this inside information, and everyone was like, "You're lying." And they were like, eventually they just booted him. Now he does pregame for the O's. What a turd. He's bashing us all day long, every move we made.
Oh, yeah. I met him when I first got the job at Hawks Haven. He was the beat guy for the Washington Post, or one of the beat guys for the Washington Post. That was back when what was Johnson, not Chrissy Johnson. Dang it! I know.
I got us off on a tangent. It was my bad. We got to get back. I want to talk about this offense a little bit.
Yeah,
okay, here we go.
For locking for really just took us off track.
Let's
Laramie Tunsil.
Do we like the
Laramie
trade?
Tunsil?
Do we like
coming in
yes,
here?
Yes. I hate losing
it's
picks.
The smart. I just want to say this.
It's the most important position.
It's the most important position of all time. And we're talking about what's the most important thing to get. And I've been thinking all week long, edge. I've been getting edgy. We all know it, and I don't give a damn. The most important position is making Jaden Daniels comfortable in this franchise every second that he's here until he has to make a decision. And what do you do right away in the beginning of this offseason? You go out and you get Tunsil at left. You got Debo as a toy in the backfield, and a guy you can hand it off to, and a guy that can do anything. And then Ertz, your blanket. So you get him a tight end, a left tackle, and a toy. There you go, Jaden. That should make you. He's got to be effing ecstatic. Can you imagine what he's feeling right now? These guys are really taking care of me. They're going to look after me at every level.
Yep.
Specifically every level.
And we still haven't used a first-round pick along the offensive line, which is crazy. We're one of the only franchises in the league. There's very few that haven't. And so, and we will eventually. I'm sure. I think everyone knows that we may very well may have. We didn't make that move. But I think it's fascinating that we have a line that we're happy with. Biotish in the center, the tackles locked down with Laramie and Brandon Coleman. And
we think so. Unless Coleman comes inside where he could be a superstar, who cares? And leave Wiley out there, maybe drafts. Who knows? But we know Coleman can play anywhere.
And we know Allegretti can play on the line for us this
gave
year.
him 3 sacks all last year and started it. He's a brawler.
A good, smart quarterback makes every line better anyway. You have some talents can be even better, but one thing I think that we should point out is not only the fact that they're trying to protect Jaden Daniels, but they're trying to protect him now, take a couple of nice big swings while he's on that rookie contract. So I think it's really smart what they're trying to do is bring him some toys, bring him some protection on the rookie contract.
So
it's smart.
And George, so
that's me.
We believe the window for if Jaden Daniels is the guy,
okay,
which I think we all agree he is. If you kind of pick that winning lottery ticket, we all believe that we did.
Sure.
We believe that the salary cap friendly window for that guy, the franchise that gets him, is 7 or 8 years, because that the rookie contract is fine, and then you sign him to the mega deal, and the first few years of that contract are fine.
Yeah.
So if
how long's rookie contract? 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really, that the first couple years of that next mega deal, they're nothing.
Yeah.
It's the back end when it's $80 million a year that you're okay.
Right. Well, whatever. We've already won 2 Super Bowls by then.
So we have lots of time. So as they churn, there's certain positions that they're churning right now. Laramie Tunsil at left tackle. That's not a churning situation.
Oh my God, it's so freaking huge.
I mean, you can't undersell it. It's a left tackle with a rookie second year quarterback in an offense that had to have better offensive line play. It's crazy talent upgrade.
We got 9 starters on offense coming back, and we just picked up Debo, 2 All-Pros on top of it.
2 All-Pros.
Think about this, for the first time in a very long-ass time, I know JD5's our guy. We have more Pro Bowl, All-Pro talent guys, more guys that have made the Pro Bowl starting on our offense than haven't. We got 6 Pro Bowlers rocking and rolling, and after this Ertz pickup, can I just tell you the amount of total touchdowns we have?
Let's go there.
Let's hear it.
246. Jaden Daniels is starting with 246
That's
touchdowns.
right. We were waiting for that one. There he is.
Targets, over 3,200 NFL targets in his weaponry. You don't think they wanted to surround him with some experience a little bit? I know we got to get a little younger. We will. The draft's coming. It's coming in April. But how about this? Over 5,000 combined targets and rushes. That's 5,000 combined touches with this weaponry. The Fab Five. Ertz, Eckler, Debo, Terry McLaurin, and Brian Robinson.
Yep.
That's how about 1,763 first downs? How about 2,200 receptions? I mean, come on, man. And now you throw in Tunsil. Now you're throwing in Tunsil, and you want to talk about yak? How about Debo's yak?
Yep.
It's
the
huge.
Best.
I've heard.
Yak.
In a contract year. In a contract year.
So
in a contract year.
This is we talk about Zach Ertz. I'm just going to blitz through these because it's all this plays into the core of our front office philosophy. You sign Zach Ertz, you sign John Bates, Zach Ertz, John Bates, Ben Sinnott comes back. Your tight end room looks the exact same. That's super interesting
It looks glorious.
I think that's crazy interesting. Not that anyone thought we were going to get crazy at tight end. Everyone knew we were going to get Zach Ertz back on a 1-year deal. It's not that John Bates is surprising, but what we did when we were most successful on offense with Cliff Kingsbury in the meat of the season, when we were not the miracle plays, but the 10, 12, 13 play drives that we had a lot of them. A lot of them were powered by that triple tight end set. It was Sinnott, Bates, and Ertz, and they were lining up all over the place, and they were running like 80% of the time when they were out there, they were running. But when they wanted to pass, they could. They moved the ball up and down the field on people this year with those three guys. I think it's fascinating. John Bates gets a 3-year deal. Nobody gets 3-year deals around here. Like, we don't have anyone. We only have like 5 or 6 guys even signed that long. The commitment to this tight end room is very telling about their offense philosophy. They like these guys. They feel like what they did last year was pretty good, and they can get better.
Let me ask you a question. Sorry, Ken. Let me ask you a quick question. So, does the signing of Ertz and Bates mean they don't have confidence in Sinnott?
Not at all. Mm-hmm. No, one more year for one more.
That's a second-round pick.
One more year for Ertz to groom. I guess terrible word in this day and age. One more year for him to be a leader in the locker room for this gentleman. But also, what takes this back, the only thing I read in the last 24 hours that just honestly tickled me to death besides the Laramie Tunsil scenario is that Zach Ertz interview I clicked on talking about John Bates. Zach Ertz, before he signed, I think it's like a week old, whatever, said that in the history of his career in the NFL, John Bates is the best blocking tight end he's ever witnessed. Yeah. He said his central huge grab, whatever he talked about. He said he is the greatest blocking tight end in space and at the line. So obviously this dude is the real deal, and a 3-year deal. He got paid, and a bunch of people wanted him to go to market so they could compete to get his services.
He was going to get multiple calls. There's so many teams in the league that can't do what they do every Sunday without a John Bates.
Only 8 receptions on the year tells you with a 3-year deal that he's knocking motherfuckers in their mouth.
And also even with Cliff Kingsbury, the will he or won't he be here for more than a year at a time. The offensive philosophy with Jaden Daniels at quarterback and some of these guys, some of the weapons that he has even right now, dictate that. We're not beholden to anything. We're not beholden to on a long-term basis. Let me just get to this one thing because
there's always time for Yankoff. Yes, he will be on the roster. If he made it last year, why won't we Yankoff this year?
This one.
Don't answer that until you think about it, Ken.
Special teams duo back in action. Zane Gonzalez, Tress Way. Obviously, Tress Way, the headliner, got the $2 million 1-year deal. The 1-year deal for Zane Gonzalez, we don't have to spend a lot of time on these two. But again, George.
Not a Zane Gonzalez guy.
Just to give you the warm and fuzzy?
I mean, look, he does in the fact that he made a couple of big field goals, and everybody kind of feels for him with the OCD thing. And, that kind of got featured inadvertently on, what was that, like a Sunday night game or something? But he's not consistent enough. It would be great to go into this next season with a more consistent kicker that we can count on. I just don't feel like I can count on the guy, to be honest with you, Do you agree or disagree?
No, I agree. This is a safety precaution, and we will go find some competition to come in and take the job from him. But this is a nice baseline to go into the offseason with, because we know last year when McManus got all handsy, we got screwed at the position. So this is, I think this is just
the bane of our existence, George.
This is a flotation device.
Kicker is just, and you know what? I understand that we talk about it too much, but only because it tends to be a story for us way too much. And for stupid reasons, stupid reasons.
The margins are razor thin, and the kicker could make all the difference.
If Zane Gonzalez is the kicker for us by midseason, it will be because we will be at that would mean we're like a 7-2, 8-1 type team. Otherwise, we will be.
It's all on you, Zane. Good luck out there.
Last year, how many kickers did we have by midseason last year?
Signing for the bare minimum.
4.
How many what?
How many kickers did we have by midseason last year? It was crazy. I mean, we're not afraid to just shuffle that deck.
Remember, they were like, meet at the park. We're all going to meet at the park. We're going to grab two of your asses.
Safety and kicker. We churn at safety and kicker.
That's fair.
As many safeties and kickers as you can just keep on bringing them in.
Andale.
All right. What's up, Rhett? I think I saw also a little Odie in the house. Robert Cohen, how you doing, sir? EO, obviously. Appreciate you. Thank you guys all for hanging out with us.
Appreciate you, Robert.
We quietly appreciate you.
Can I ask you guys another question?
Oh, I love questions. This is the Q&A part of the show.
Back to the Laramie Tunsil thing and a couple of other things. We've given up some draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to this on the radio. I don't remember who I was listening to today. The question came in from a caller, something like, does that mean that we're getting away from build through the draft? Are we? And I was kind of thinking about that as my hour and 10-minute commute from Washington D.C. this afternoon. I don't mind if we don't build from the draft. Like, what are your guys' thoughts on it? It's almost like the NIL versus
We have the greatest drafter. We have the greatest drafter.
Yeah.
But you can have the greatest grocery shopper, and if he goes to our nasty ass giant at Wheaton Plaza, he's not going to find the greatest produce. Not this year in the draft. Is all I'm saying, George. I think that it's been evident from AP scenarios and everything he's looking for that he doesn't love this year's draft. I don't think anyone does. I don't know shit. I read that all the draft guys are like, this might be a down year. And at the positions that we're in need of, it seems a little off for us.
So you don't think it's a shift in philosophy. You just think it's this year that's what's happening.
The guys he drafted last year, I love him. And what he did at other places, wow, look at that. That was magic.
All right, we got 5 picks. We got a first and second rounder that doesn't change. Those 2 guys have to be, let's say at least all pro in their second year. Number 4,
no pressure,
and number 6, we got to hit on those. Clearly, you're looking at a situation where we're going to be desperate and trying like hell to trade down.
Everyone's going to say it, but you have to have a partner, and someone has to have a reason. And if everyone else is trying to trade down in a shitty draft year, then we'll see what happens. But
you got to get lucky too, right? See if somebody falls to you and willing to do it.
So the good
someone has
news
to show
is,
weakness.
Even like again, kind of like the beauty of the Kinlaw signing is that at the bottom of the first round, there's going to be an absolute like blue chip defensive line stud, and I don't think they'll be afraid to take that guy if they think that he can be a 5-year starter for us. And if they can't trade back, for example, because I think like that. I don't think they're reaching for a wide receiver in the first round. I don't think they are. I don't think they're reaching with the Tunsil signing, unless the guy that they're in love with on the offensive line is there. I think the best player available now. Interestingly, we get the Will Harris deal. 2 years, $8 million doesn't scare me away from drafting Nick Emenwari if he falls to us. I don't think he will.
We already said the dude plays inside, outside, linebacker, strong and free.
Yeah.
There's a place for him on this team, especially if you keep smacking dudes in the mouth this way. Not worried about that at all. Stockpile talent.
Yep.
We already warned everyone 2 weeks ago, don't be that Twitter guy. Oh, God, we stocked our offense. What are we going to do on day, man? Shut up. The offseason's not even close. Come draft time, the trades that happen. The post-June 1st everything. All the drama that happens in an offseason. AP's sitting there ready to pounce. The dude's an assassin. I mean, so let the offseason unfold before you judge it is my best bet. And I understand what we need. We all do. We need an edge rusher. We need 2 of them. We need 3 cornerbacks. We need all kinds of shit.
All right.
Let's see how it goes.
We went to the well. We got our guy back. Now, I was going to say we don't need to spend a ton of time on Bobby. We've been talking about him incessantly. This was a no-brainer. He was always coming back. If he was going to play, he was going to play for us. Got his money. I mean, it's just so everything. To have an all-pro Hall of Fame linebacker for the league minimum, I mean, that's all it is. Whatever he's getting paid, it's nothing.
I love it. And as my son, Sean Garreta, says, culture guy. Culture guy. He's going to be the guy that's going to be the glue. It's a cliche, but he's the leader. You can't really put a price tag on, although they did. You got to have somebody like that in the locker room. And it made a huge difference last year.
A couple of those millions were because of that. The way our defense accelerated from September to October was a lot to do with 5-4. He is the master communicator. Everyone trusts and respects him. You need that guy. It just can't be the coaches all the time, George. You understand that more than anybody. We all had enough of a couple coaches, but the guys that you respect on that team that give it all, this guy right here, that was such a no-brainer to me. I could not wait. Ertz and him, and I was so thrilled.
All right, so
by the way, tree trunks for arms. Have you ever seen arms bigger than that guy? They're massive. Was that okay to say?
Tree trunks for arms?
Look at them. Look, they're massive. For Bobby Wagner.
I thought you were talking about Ken.
I mean,
no.
The
lighting is not your friend, Ken.
Maybe like a Japanese maple, maybe crepe myrtle. I mean,
the lighting should be dimmed. I think in the middle.
Okay, all right, maybe like a young holly.
How's the glare out there?
I like it. Let's see. Let's see if we can't put somebody up on the board. Rhett Donnelly says, I can't imagine a situation where either 1, we have a trade partner to trade back, or 2, we have a guy we really like Oh yeah, so that's like the worst of the scenarios.
Well, Adrian Peterson, I mean, Adam Peters, AP, always has those middle guys. There's always going to be a guy.
If he has to pick, we're going to get... So
it's not about the middle guys he likes. It's about if he doesn't like this guy at 29 or 61 enough to go.
We're not going Desmond Howard type, we're going to, this is going to be a player... If we have to pick there, it's going to be a player that can play first right away.
But not to beat a dead horse, here we are just trusting what the administration's going to do.
Yes.
It's so nice.
Don't
forget that.
Oh, you mean the smartest guys on the topic?
Yes.
When we used to be able to be the smartest guys on the topic?
Yes.
We, honestly,
we were that, and then we were 30
and
years.
I include this board.
The exact opposite.
Yeah, exactly. So it is gorgeous.
God,
but
don't
you know what
take it
else
for
is
granted.
gorgeous? J-Dub says birch tree for you, Ken.
Birch. That's the strongest wood.
I know.
That's like stronger than diamonds.
Oh God. Now your birchwood's so strong. What's
it's
happening?
the strongest
What's
wood.
happening,
Stronger than
George?
oak.
Literally, they cut glass with it.
Tougher than teak. Tougher than teak.
Well,
Nice little ring to it.
it's teaked. It's a verb.
Teak tough.
Okay, so this one,
Elephant.
I'm going to ask everybody to put on their special, Redskins colored sunglasses. So we have a weapons situation where we have, obviously, we got Terry and we got Debo. We bring back the same tight end room, not very weapony. I mean, we got a elder statesman who can trollop a good 7.5, 8 yards.
Old school grenades get the job done.
That's fine. That's fine, but right now we're old school grenading it.
It takes Zach Ertz that long. They're like, run your 10-yard down and out. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, no, it's that's how
he catches it. Like, I don't know how.
So that's happening.
He gets it done.
We have obviously Debo's a big time thing. I want to talk about the slot here in a second, but at running back, we know neither Brian Robinson Jr. nor Austin Eckler are signed through the next season. We know that there's a couple running backs around this draft, but this is a very running back heavy draft. And we went and did something that I think, again, is this is the ultimate flex of the offseason so far. This is the ultimate flex that you say, I'm going with Brian Robinson Jr., Austin Eckler, Chris Rodriguez, there he is, and Jeremy McNichols, there he is. All over again.
Jerry Mack back.
I mean, that to me.
Oh, no. I think we're going to draft some speed. I don't know what round, but I know that there's some speed.
Screw that. We're having a microphone issue. No, not that. That's part. Yeah, it's the male, female. And I want, you know what? We're not giving people the, I'm sorry that we're not giving everyone. There you go. Okay, now let's get it up. Now let's get it all on there, on the air live. It's like a pit crew. It's like a podcast pit crew.
No teeth, George. No teeth.
We just said our running back situation it's like a whole 1 year deal. Everyone in our running back room is on a 1 year deal. This is so good. This is the best podcast content. That's why I'm trying to power through some like bland McNichols, Chris Rodriguez analysis. I mean, we're going with the same guys who didn't break off a lot of 78-yard runs.
Strachan set me up. I know it.
He's blame the quadriplegic guy that this has never happened to.
I know it's happening. He's trying to avoid the Wally Pipp situation. Strachan, I know this was you.
Let's go.
All right, I'm in. Let's just try to move it so you can see my face.
There you go.
That
was not applause.
We'll handle that in post.
No, we're gonna fix that in post. I thought our I know why. Let's see, hold on. Not that one. Oh, this one. There it is.
Oh, look at you.
That was dedicated to Matt Seal. All right, so
am I getting cooked by Matt Seal over here?
Well, probably. Yeah. I'm sure he's
Deservedly.
definitely. There's some things about you that definitely grind his gears. And
I'm sure
he'll have a tersely worded email sent to you by early this week. By the way, just as an aside, George and I are. Did you get the link from Christina?
I don't know. I think
we'll put it up there in a little bit. George and I are going to be doing a collab, a charity auction scenario on Saturday night. And one of the things we're doing is, and of course we're not auctioning off this live, but we're going to have a co-host for the night to come in here and hang out with us and be on the air and decide what we talk about and mix it up with us. for
a lot of buzz around that one.
There's a lot of buzz.
A lot of buzz.
Mostly buzz.
They're buzzing.
So am I kicked out? I get booted?
Oh no.
My sideline
That leaves
reporter?
me.
So-
that leaves my spot.
Yes.
Was it because of the microphone thing?
If I told you how much George paid to be here tonight, it would really, it would boggle your mind. No, but so we're going to put the link out there. Anyone who's local and wants to support a good cause and hang out with us on a Tuesday night, we'll welcome you with open arms, and we'll have a great Tuesday night in the basement.
Can't wait.
The other part about it is we get to kind of mix it up on the sticks, which it's also wanted to make sure we had a little bit of.
I'll do a sound check before then, so this thing doesn't happen again to me. But no, it's going to be great.
We won't have.
When you tried to swallow the microphone whole with no teeth and then try to bite it back on, I didn't know if that was your best bet.
That's not.
But it is
what
the
you're
note
supposed
that
to
T
do.
left for him underneath.
It is.
He was like, if the microphone falls, try and engorge it down your mouth and fix it with your teeth.
And
Well played, Strachan.
Since we're going to be performing a scene, I wanted to make sure we had an intimacy coach with us to help us through some of the things.
We're trying to have like an Oscars viral moment, like a VMAs thing. I'm not sure.
If it's Halle Berry related, fair enough.
Like a
or
Britney,
else
Christina Aguilera moment.
Sure.
I think it's appropriate at Holy Redeemer Catholic Church. It'll be great.
How about Will Smith, Chris Rock? Can we get one of those?
I tried it one year. It was nixed. Apparently, it was beneath the group.
censors.
Yes, censors nixed it.
Censors.
I thought it would have been hilarious.
Listen, a lot of stuff.
Keep your wife's name.
It's got to be. We're gonna get we're gonna put once you get past the red flag of the Matador, then you can do whatever you want. It's my understanding.
It's our.
Please,
It's
That's what I'm saying.
please don't tell me who the Matador is. Maybe this is for you guys.
Hey, Burro.
No mas.
We don't.
This is for your guys' podcast.
And so anyways, and by the way, love long history with Kevin and T. So that I wanted to point that out. One of the things we love doing, since we want to shout out to our main man T, who's not here tonight, and again, he wasn't here last week, George, and you might have heard about this. And listen, it's sad. He exposed himself to a Intamin's bakery display at Safeway.
It happens.
And he's not supposed to be seen publicly.
Which Entenmann's? Which Entenmann's?
Well, you know which Entenmann's.
You will. Everyone knows which one.
Donut holes.
It was roped off.
George, it's the raspberry. I thought it's the raspberry Danish twist. Obviously,
it was roped off.
There's a half Danish twist, half T Strachan running around Kensington right now. It's crazy looking.
That's
so
unbelievable. Hey, don't miss. You can never miss. This is what happens. No excuses, T.
It's the whole. I haven't been able to buy Intamin's for a couple weeks now. It's been roped off with.
I gave up sugar for Lent. I would crush that half destroyed Intamin's.
Yes.
I'm just saying. Was that gross?
No.
Should I not have said that?
We'll
fix that in post.
If you want to eat T out, it's up to you, George. You're sitting in his seat.
All right, so
love you, T.
So that was a really weird thing. You just said you're going to eat T.
Yeah, I said his Entenmann's. His Entenmann's.
I don't know.
Post-coital Entenmann's.
It's post-coital Entenmann's. All right, fair enough.
I'm just saying I haven't had sugar in 7 days.
Does T have a say in this?
Leave me alone. I'm starving.
I certainly don't want George Gray eating my Entenmann's. If you
There's
know
going to be some honey buns involved, and it's going to be outrageous.
Go to bed, kids. Go to bed. Stop watching.
Stop watching.
Don't look at me.
And there better be donut holes when George gets home.
Look at me.
The second half of the show.
Don't look at half of Mr. Strachan. Sorry, kid. Sorry.
You made it to the second half of the show, everybody.
Barely.
Anyways, we the fact that I'm sure that'll be a fifth running back, because
great segue.
Our coaching staff is not going to be afraid to put those 4 guys on the field. Now, obviously, you don't trust 4 running backs, but last year, whatever 4 running backs we had behind Eckler and Pete Robinson, there was nothing going on. We weren't excited about it. I mean, Chris Rodriguez was there.
McNichol did a good job.
And
wait,
he did.
Can I say something?
I'm not like poo-pooing it.
No. Can I say something potentially unpopular? I'm not a fan of Brian Robinson. I'm sorry.
Not a fan?
I mean, no, I'm not. Like, not that I'm
Are
not
you
a fan
of paying him?
I don't think he's good. I think he's a beast. He's strong as an ox. All that is great, but I can run in head first into the guard right in front of me also and get 1 yard. I'm sorry.
He makes 70 free throws.
Probably.
Let me tell you about.
But am I wrong? Am I wrong on that though?
All right, I know this. I know that our running back room Another running
He's
back
not
room
dynamic.
runs
He's not dynamic. That's what I say all the time.
He has no
not.
speed.
But we're paying
Wait, are we in
nothing.
agreement? Are we in agreement? Because I
But
changed
he's
that.
very
You took it
effective
too
at
far.
wearing down the defense, and that's what he's done for us.
You got to have
He
guys.
has been that dude for 4 years. Well,
Yes.
3 years.
Can you not wear down the defense with 3 or 4 yards? It's got to be 1 or 2 yards.
He's not a guy you resign.
Dude, he's not a guy that's easy to tackle.
We're probably not
I
going to
know, but
resign
we've got a window here, right? So like, what if we had a guy? I'm not saying we have to have Saquon.
Oh no, we've said this. Oh, our running back room runs a collective 4.85 40. It's all 4 of them.
They're
not
still
dynamic.
running it. They're still running
trust
it.
me, George.
It's not
so
over.
I said I want to draft a speed guy just so we can show the ability to run fast.
By the way,
ball
love
in
Eckler.
hand.
He can do a little bit of that if he just keeps his head out of it.
Eckler's great, but straight ahead, they're going to catch him twice before he goes 60.
Right.
But I
But
get,
he-
I get
yeah.
what you're saying. I just like, I think he's a badass, and listen, he got shot and came back and fought through. He's a good badass dude. I understand that when he catches a screen in open field, he gets the least amount of yardage possible because I scream at the television. I do the open shot. I'm like, go, go. God, the D tackle got him.
Can I give you an analogy? I don't
know.
mean to hijack the show, Ken. I know you're
No,
dying,
but I want to. I don't want to leave.
you don't want me to give you an analogy?
Is this about Brian Robinson?
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
You know what? He's 1991 Gerald Riggs. And Gerald Riggs had 25 touchdowns for us that year, but he got like 25 yards.
Here's
that
what I
whole
disagree
year.
with you there.
He's not
I
binary.
love Gerald.
Gerald
Riggs.
I did
Riggs
too, I'm just
was
saying.
better in short yardage than Brian Robinson is.
Okay, I don't disagree.
Your GD righty was.
Yeah, he was way better than.
I mean, again, he had a better
and
line,
that's
too.
the problem
No, that's-
with Brian
that's clear.
Robinson. One of the main problems. So he's not getting you the toughest possible yards, which your top, your Gerald Riggs top guys are, and he's also not a home run hitter. But as I'm looking at right here, but other than that, how is the
How many
play,
fumbles? How many
Mrs.
fumbles?
Mrs. Lincoln? No, but he's making $3.4 million. So also I'm saying for one more year, you have a running back who you're going to ask to carry the ball into a line of 300-pound animal people who want to kill you for an entire year. I'm down with that. I'm down with that part of it. Now, all this to say, just like the tight ends, just like the running backs, this is Cliff Kingsbury and Dan Quinn saying, man, they feel like weirdly comfortable about like what they
Debo.
and 100%.
There might be a little bit of Debo.
Yeah.
Maybe
In the backfield.
Maybe 45, 50 Debo carries.
Think
which
about
is two to
Kingsbury.
3 a game.
Our
If
offense was
Oh my
fine.
God, it's going to be. How are they going to stop
He
it?
can run fast after you hand it off to him.
Debo's gonna get
Debo.
gonna get like video game targets. Like we're going to put the ball in his hands as much as possible.
And we're going to get a toy. We're going to get a speedy.
Yes. And that
There's gonna be
second
a
round pick,
Slithery snake out there somewhere.
Slithery
Adam
serpent.
Peter, he's a snake.
I don't disagree. I think like I don't love I don't think it's like a great wide receiver draft, but I was telling you and T this week, like I was doing the deep dive on wide receiver. Kyron Lacy, only because he played at LSU with Jaden Daniels. He was the number 3 wide receiver behind Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. And he banged out like 700 yards and whatever, a bunch of touchdowns, and then he was the better guy this past year. He's right in that mid second round to early third round like ranking. And it's like weird because he's a guy that could come in and be a great complement to Debo and Terry because he's played that role before, specifically with Jaden Daniels in the Jaden Daniels. If Jaden Daniels knows where he's going to be, if he can't get his number 1 and number 2 reads, that would be crazy. I think Kyron Lacy is an interesting person to watch in the second round because you talk about a toy, like a wide receiver 3 in the second round would be, quasi luxury pick.
Can I disagree with that?
Yeah, of course.
So, and again, I don't really know what I'm talking about because I don't know Kyron Lacy that much. But all I can tell you is he made De'Ami Brown. Jaden Daniels made De'Ami Brown look like somebody we might not want to let go. I know he's gone, but
He's gone.
Jaden Daniels made Zacchaeus, who I've never even heard of before, look like he's somebody we might not want to let go. I don't know if we want to waste a second round or second. We have other needs. Maybe we draft somebody else at a different need. And then
we do have other needs. That's a fact.
Yeah.
We have other needs.
We're not drafting for need in the second round. We're going to get the baddest son of a bitch available. That's what we're
I don't know who's going to be, and I don't.
It might be a.
Hey, let's go on the other side of the ball. Though
It might be a hair splitter. 100,000.
It could be a linebacker.
Right.
It could be.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go on the other side of the ball.
We got time to fix
So-
that side
so
of the
the-
ball. It's going to be that weekend too.
The draft impacts ultimately of these signings, and just so I listen.
We need a free agent corner and a rookie corner. We need a free agent edge and a rookie edge. I don't know. There's not enough picks for what we need.
I copied
but
and pasted
defense
some
is going to be a big
pictures.
deal. Let's go. Let's show these pastes.
If I paste something, it must be shown. I want to make sure. I only have one more. This is how much I think. This is how highly
George,
I think about this next person.
Get nervous, George.
This is the guy who I want to come back so badly. His name is Marcus Mariota. I do believe that we're in the running to get him. I know we've talked about this in the last couple weeks, George. He has options. He can go somewhere.
I don't know anymore.
Well, someone might still be willing to let him come in.
Pittsburgh's not like taking a peek at Marcus Mariota right now.
Nope. I think people are interested in anybody who could cost them in the neighborhood of $8 to $15 million that can play quarterback. I mean, that's just the fact. I mean, otherwise you're paying $30 to $50 or $60 million for a guy.
I get it. Forget about that, though. Where would he want to be right now in his career with all this money, 10 years, and what he did last year? And it was a resurrecting moment of his career.
He wants to start, maybe.
But where?
But does he? No.
And good luck with Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson's gone, right? You got Aaron Rodgers. Do you think Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin are going to get together?
Do you think those two receivers aren't going to fight each other and then fight Mike Tomlin after they say, and Marcus Mariota is our pick?
Right.
So they have George Pickens and who they just bring?
DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
You don't bring in Mariota with Pickens and Metcalf and be like,
I mean,
here we go, Pittsburgh.
But he's got that running style.
I love him, and I think he'd be fine.
I think he'd be fine too. So my thought line is more on Kevin's side. I thought he looked miserable on that TV show.
You go get Daniel Jones if that's what you want.
Yeah, and by the way, that's exactly the scenario. If I'm Marcus
Ravens
Mariota,
would kill for them to have Daniel Jones.
If I'm Marcus Mariota, I'll look and I say, do I want to be part of a Daniel Jones versus Anthony Richardson scenario all offseason in whatever town I go to? All season long, and then at the end of the season, it's either they're probably going to draft a guy anyways, or again, we talked about before, if you pick that winning lottery ticket and you get the Joe Montana and the guy, then those guys, the Tom Brady's, the Brett Favre's, they have caddies. Like those guys are caddies. They're professional caddies. There's no golfer in his right mind who wouldn't want the positivity of Marcus Mariota on their bag for like as long as you possibly can, as long as he can do it physically. He's going to make more money caddying for Jaden Daniels than he could make anywhere else, and it'll be a way funner job.
I would just say too, like last year, he was like the equivalent of a caddy that stepped in and hit a couple of birdies too, right?
Yeah, of course.
He birdied 2 games for us, right? Like that was crazy.
And we're going to need 2 more birdies next year. It's just what happens. It's how this league works.
Yeah.
And by the way, what a better opportunity to fill in for a starter than he has here if Jaden has to go out for a week or two, because he does take a few hits here and there. It's a long-ass season. If he's got to fill in, the dude was lights out last year. Everyone adores him. This is kind of the perfect scenario for him. Yep. Give him his $6 or $7 million and freaking who gives a shit?
Whatever. And by the way, I think it's a multi-year. I think he gets a multi-year deal.
Good.
Yes, exactly.
He's earned it. Let's do it.
To me, that's the decision that he's making. He's like, okay, either I go somewhere and fight like hell for a chance to compete for a starting job in the summer, or I take a caddy job for 3 or 4 years.
And hear me out when I say this. And if everything due to our fanship from the 80s has come back to full fruition, then our beloved backup quarterback should be back as well. And what a better guy to love in this new generation than Marcus effing Mariota, who loves Jaden Daniels. They love each other. The quarterback room is
Ken Harris.
2 of the best people in the world that are professional athletes in one room.
Ken Harris makes the only argument that I could possibly understand if I'm Marcus Mariota. If Marcus Mariota has such a tie to the Titans organization,
should bring a rookie quarterback in while he does his business and fair and blah blah blah. But what's the difference?
There's no like this. He's the Jaden Daniels is already like
you're eventually going to get pulled and benched again, or you can be the guy that shows up and saves the day.
There's no.
Plus, we're a franchise on the rise too, and like how great is that again to say?
I agree.
But he's going to want to stay with us because of the last year and the trajectory of our program is amazing.
And we've got some monies.
Yeah,
we've got some Mariota monies. Definitely.
I mean, he's.
Did
whatever.
you see him on the what was it, Netflix quarterback series?
That's what I was talking about. He looked miserable. He was
looked
so
miserable,
unhappy.
but also like I loved how he behaved, and I loved him and his wife and the relationship. And he's not some prima donna. Go back to the Bobby Wagner thing. He's a great guy, caddy, whatever you want to call him. He's a great culture guy. He's a great culture guy to have. And again, he has the same skill set. It's amazing.
The Polynesian culture is tremendous. We've had far too less of them having Luvu and having Mariota certainly had a lot to do with the love.
Luvu's so good.
I love both of them, but they love human beings. They love doing what they do. And finally, Mariota does again. Why leave it when you love it for the first time in years? So
Sam,
I think that's an easy
Sam
one.
Howell came in and lit up the Cowboys at the end of the season, and it was the perfect thing to happen for him. And he came back and had a full season as starter. Marcus Mariota, what he did at Dallas is legendary for people who are hardcores and old schools. It lives forever, and it lives even longer forever.
Babe Laufenberg moment.
Yeah,
reverse.
He has the opportunity. This is the kind of job that he could do, where he never has to take his wallet out again, kind of job. You know what I mean? Like he's just you know what I mean. So it remains to be seen. The Marcus Mariota signing, I don't want to make too much of it, but at the end of the day, I think it's a big deal.
It's a very big deal.
Yeah.
Can I just say also, Frankie Luvu, top 5 moment in the NFL when he's jumping over the stupid tush push.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not just joking because it was funny to watch and nobody ever saw anything like that, but it could potentially affect change in the NFL rules.
If he would have speared him in the ear hole, it would have. That's what I wanted him to do.
That would have been great.
Just fully.
I like that, Kevin. Hurt somebody.
Superfly snooker him.
So,
no, then you have to change it.
Well, I think they're considering it because that brought a lot of attention.
He's too good of a guy. We talked about it. He slapped the shoulder pad instead of
I hate changing rules because people can't stop stuff. I hate that.
It's already against the rules, but anyway,
I came up with this. I solved it. That play last week. You obviously were watching when I told you guys. It's all about the sideways push. But we'll get to that. The sideways push.
May I just say this?
Please.
Stink real quick. 20 seconds said, and he played a lot of special teams. He said on field goal block, they outlawed it. It's illegal to push a man through the line defensively to block an extra point or field goal. It is illegal to get behind someone and push them. So because
you can't pull them either, by the way,
because of safety issues. So why would those safety issues be any different the other way?
It's already illegal. There's a rule in the rule book in the NFL right now that says it's illegal. They're just not enforcing it.
Well,
you can't pull anybody either, but you see that happening all the time.
I have the workaround.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I hate the idea of rescinding rules or changing rules because people
enforcing rules already on the books. But anyway, go ahead.
People can't stop stuff. Listen, I hate it. I hate the Philadelphia's the best at this stupid play. And it's all about pushing from behind, and they don't want to legislate that. So here's what I say. If you're going to do it, call freaking offsides. Put your nose on the ball because every single time they run this play, everybody's offsides. The whole freaking, all 22 guys.
Everybody's offsides.
Everybody's offsides.
We're just going to go in for halftime now. Orange slices and...
Don't make Frankie Luvu be the asshole. The referee should be like, flag, 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 flag. You can't line up on the ball the way they do for this stupid freaking play. That's the reason why it should change because the offsides is outrageous.
How do we get here? How do we get to tush push?
Sorry, that's on me. That's on me.
Totally on you. Okay, all right.
An old center.
I will derail this podcast.
An old St. John's center.
I will.
Sorry, I didn't even know I felt that strongly about it.
Never a center.
Guard, sorry. Swing guard.
I was a scat back.
No, there was some scat involved. We all know about that. All right, so no scheme-based tinkering on the scat back scenario. How about this? Dante Fowler still available. Someone's got to rush the passer.
Is he available? Did you see what he said?
Well, I'm just saying.
He's not happy.
He's not happy. I believe
you can't bring him back. That's not a culture guy.
Well,
he was always teetering the edge of culture, and because he had a good year and guys around him, I think that's kind of been his deal. He was so pissed. Did you see the other text that was deleted?
Yeah.
What did it say? I think I
saw something. He just doesn't help himself.
Yeah, y'all dude's getting paid 3 times me, and you dick riding everybody else. Yeah,
I played half the snaps and had just the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, him and
you
Diami,
can't come back after that.
Diami started acting like a little hoe about things too. Listen,
then move on.
Diami. Well, Diami got rich.
Good for him.
I want to call Miami.
He needs to send some money to Jaden Daniels. But
and Tua's pretty accurate too. It's a good place for him.
Make a prediction. Stu, you hate these predictions because I make up too many of them.
But just forge ahead.
De'Ami Brown will be back on this team at some point in the next 3 or 4 years, 2 or 3 years. I think he's the kind of player that he's going to be available. He's not always going to be worth anywhere near market value. He clearly does what we like to do, and he's not going to cost shit in a couple years. And I think we'll be happy to have a guy like him as our 5th or 6th guy on our roster. That's the way I think about this.
This is one of the weirdest predictions of your entire career.
All right, well there it is.
If you throw enough shit out there, something's gonna come true.
That's what I'm talking about. I want Sheldon Ray's still out there, right? We want him.
We did say we wanted him back.
We want him
and
back.
And now I think even more so at that last little spot that fill in that fifth swing tackle role. You know, there's always guys out.
George, this is how we laid out the board for our free agents.
Interested. Look at that interest. John Bates, get up in here, young man.
So
Jeremy Brown, see you later.
Dated.
Sir.
Jeremy Chin, it's very dated, but yeah, look, Jeremy Chin, Sayonara, Dante Fowler, Persona non gratis, Corny, Lukey,
Yeah, let's just say this. It was a sad day to see Cornelius Lucas sign.
Yep.
But he got his $10 million, and listen, he played for us last year for 3, I think. The year before for 4,
absolutely,
maybe 6.
Dude, he's a professional.
It's taken him 3 years
lineman.
to get $10 million from. Yeah, have at it, man. You want to go and do your thing? You're going to Cleveland. God bless you. Sorry, bro. And good luck against Myles Garrett at practice. That'll be fun. Anyways,
interesting. Our thank you for your service column. Already 2 guys we've decided to continue their service, and McNichols and Rodriguez. I'm interested to see if we get down to like fumes. I mean,
Don't say it.
Derek Forrest?
Okay, that's fine. I thought you were going to say St. Jude.
No chance. No. I'm thinking Derek Forrest might have a shot on this team.
Was that fair? Was that fair? He had a terrible game against AJ Brown. Was that fair? What happened to him?
Who?
St. Jude. I mean, I think he kind of became a meme, right? Like he was not a good player. I don't want him back, but I think he got roasted unnecessarily.
He's a tough guy who played hard, but
he wasn't bad.
But anyone he guarded was freaking wide open. I don't know how that works.
Contract days.
Floyd's gone, Rhett. I thought he went to Atlanta, right?
Floyd has signed.
It didn't work. It didn't work out in Atlanta.
No, my understanding was again, no one signed anywhere. That's the
tomorrow at noon.
Yeah, tomorrow everything finalizes. So, and we will see guys change. Milton Williams change course from the Panthers to the Patriots. Is that right? But anyways, I like Derek Forrest as the only guy from this list on the thank you for your service that I want back. Interestingly,
did you see the stat on Milton Williams before you move on? That he is now the highest paid player in the history of the New England Patriots. Do you know that?
Jesus,
he took over. I
Milton.
swear to God.
Milton was a part-time player last year, guys.
He took over.
You want to talk about the tackle spot and why we had to give $30 million to a guy? This is Milton Williams.
Move over, Tom Brady. We got some big fat guy.
Yeah.
You're no longer
Milton
on the record books. Highest paid player in the history of the Patriots. Sorry.
I think so everyone got, it's like there was like the NFL owners, a bunch of like 32 billionaires just got stimulus checks. They all got like a $27
Give me that stimmy.
They all got a $27 million stimulus check. They're like, hey, you guys, here's an extra $27 million. So everybody got to really try hard to keep their own guys. That's why so many guys got, brought back who may not have been in the plans to bring back, a month and a half ago, but the stimulus checks really helped. And so that took some guys off the market, that we would have otherwise liked. I don't think we necessarily used our stimulus check on our own guys, because then our stimulus check for us, you would have already heard about guys like Dante Fowler, potentially.
I don't know about Fowler. They watched AJ Brown cave in the right side of the line of scrimmage 3 separate times from the trip scenario. AJ Brown was beating his ass in the run game.
Yeah,
he is a one-guy, and I want him back for that. I do as a specialist, but I don't want him back to play every day and every downs. Get over there, play 1/3 of this.
He's going to want that everyday money though.
Around as much,
and he ain't getting it because of that reason. He's mad, but we're right.
There's no chance he's re-signing after.
No chance.
Yeah, there's no chance.
And I'm happy. He burned the bridges, and I'm happy about that. I wasn't somebody. I always thought he was going to be too expensive for us to keep. I don't think that's any longer the case. But now we won't keep him for other reasons. Marcus Mariota, obviously, we talked about him. Olamide Zaccheaus, he'll remain available for quite some time, as will probably Jamison Crowder and some of these other guys. But Trent Scott, I'm not aware that he's signed anywhere else. He's a guy. He's a guy that I really want to bring back.
Yeah, me too.
And especially, he's super versatile. He's super big. He could be in the competition for who plays right guard until Cosme gets back, potentially.
He caught Jaden Daniels' first ever NFL touchdown pass. So we just got to keep around for a little bit. But
that dance was phenomenal.
I mean, but don't throw the ball. Like, get the ball back to Jaden.
So good.
Like, let's all do.
We all know Nick Bellore is getting his money. If you watch if you're actually a Redskins fan, you watch our show.
He's a great football player.
Again, you can't win games without Nick
love
Bellore.
him. I want him back so bad. We're going to take our time. And here's the deal. This is not the first week or two of free agency when all these big high-flying monies are flying around. This is not what Luvu was talking about when he said, I know a bunch of guys that want to get here. It's the grimy-ass picks that we're going to fill in with. It's the dudes that are way better values on a minimum contract or $2 or $3 million a year than anyone else because they already got that money or want to be here for a reason to prove themselves. That's when it starts turning to our advantage. Yep. Right now, money talks. We all know that. Myles Garrett, let's be obvious. He was never, ever looking for a freaking trade. He just wanted all them monies and they got him.
He is such a genius.
Thanks a lot, Cleveland. Oh, here's $40 million. All right.
He, by the way.
I'll never play her again. Trade me. Here's $40 million.
Jimmy Haslam.
George is
such
right.
a scumbag.
It's fun. This is fun.
Everybody hates that guy. The owners hate him. Haslam, the owner of the like we literally, it's just yet another opportunity to remind ourselves that we are out of owner hell. And I also want to make sure, and this is something that I've been asked, by the way, in the last few weeks, we can be a destination spot for fans who are going through the same thing. Like we know what it's like to be an owner. Oh, I think we, there's some people out there have been asking some like Q&As, like what do you do? I think we're gonna address that. That's gonna be a thing we do with this offseason, a kind of a therapy session for. There's a couple of Jets fans out there. There's a couple.
We're pros at that. Yeah,
we got you. We got you.
So, are you talking about fan migration? Like,
no. Just helping them get through. Just helping them get through.
Actual,
I got a brother-in-law that might need some help. So he's a Jets fan. Yeah, I'm just saying we could probably bring him on, lay him down on the couch right here.
Yeah, we got you.
For therapy, Kevin.
Then what?
For
then
therapy,
guys.
But Jimmy Haslam
Tim, I got
totally
you,
fucked his owner friends when he gave Deshaun Watson the biggest guaranteed contract ever. Which now, by the way, like we told last week, now that you're paying nothing for, you're paying basically by the pinky knuckle at this point in time for Deshaun Watson, and it's not a lot.
I see what you did there.
Jesus,
yeah.
Justin Tucker. Shout out JT.
Yeah. It's the most economic.
Yeah, Deshaun's the second grossest guy to massage.
What do you think about the price of eggs?
That's a one-handed OBJ.
Eggs versus pinky knuckles.
Too soon.
It's it depends what economy you're talking about. But so again, he goes back and he says, and he turns around this Myles Garrett situation with gobs and gobs of money, making him the highest paid non-quarterback ever. Yeah, I know. We do need a counseling hotline, without a doubt.
Put the number up there.
NFL fan peer support. I love it. People are getting behind this idea. We're gonna do it. Atlanta sound.
Tim Summer, call in right now if you're watching.
Yes, we got you. We can handle. We've been there. We survived. And
my college roommate was a Jets fan, and it was bad for both of us.
Yeah,
it was always bad. It's really bad for them now. And guess what? In due time will heal all wounds. Tim,
we still were good during your college years, by the way, right? We thought we were good. We didn't know how bad we were back in the mid to late 90s.
The mid 90s, the later 90s.
We thought we were building with Norv back then.
Well, I was in college for many, many years. So
lots of people go to college for 7 years.
Well, geez, George.
They're called doctors.
They're called doctors.
Sorry, Professor Gareda. I apologize.
Listen,
the one thing
there's a statue of me at Marymount somewhere. I'm sure it's a commuter statue.
It's on. It's like by a bench.
Me and John Tier at the cafeteria.
Between a bench and a part.
It's where you swipe your Metro card right at.
Keegan's like feverishly dialing in right now. I guarantee you. Sorry. Derail.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what we're talking. What player were we even talking about?
I don't know. I lost it.
We were talking about
the one that you were one pinky knuckle
Deshaun
away from.
Watson.
Yes,
well, yes. Jimmy Haslam and the whole idea of him being a terrible owner. We talk about we have a bad owner therapy group. The whole thing about Jimmy Haslam is as terrible as he is, and he is a terrible owner. And by the way, the stories about him are legendary. He did succeed in keeping arguably the best defensive player on the planet on his team. That's his job. If you're the owner, I mean, our owner did not succeed in that. I mean,
they would have burnt him in the streets. They would have tarred and feathered him.
Yes. So I mean,
we got 3 2s and a 1 for Myles Garrett.
They're a mess. It doesn't matter. You keep Myles Garrett. You're like, here, stay in the dumpster fire because you still are under the Deshaun Watson contract.
And
forever.
This is what he did to us. This is what that terrible.
I know.
This is like a cult. This is like a cult. This is what happened to us. Mediocrity. come on back in. We gave that one guy $40 million.
So
season
you're
ticket
telling
holders.
me there's a chance?
6-6, and we're like, the playoffs are right there.
We got Myles Garrett.
This was the NFL. This is the owner's torture. This is the torment.
So the question is, like, now that Danny Boy's gone, who is the next Danny Boy? Is it Tepper? Is it Haslam? Like, who's the next worst owner?
Ken's words suggest Haslam is in the mix.
Haslam is 100% in the mix.
Tepper is such an evil fucker, isn't he?
So Shahad Khan down in
Tepper is
Jacksonville
with
is
Carolina,
just not
right?
good.
Carolina, yeah.
So the thing
not a
about
good guy.
Tepper, but the thing about Tepper is, he's in the club. So he was a minority owner with the Steelers, and when they walked Jerry Richardson out of the building for whatever he did that caused all
It happens. It happens.
For Bible belting.
Yeah, he was asked to leave. He got Donald Sterling, and he went quietly into that.
I'm not gross. I got a mass 19 times a day.
Yes.
I'm not gross. I'm not gross.
Thank
you, sir.
He's like I only want two things. I want you to sell. I want here's the price I want to sell at, and I want to keep the I want to sell to someone in North Carolina. And they were like, they sold for they gave David Tepper the deal at a less than market. I mean, he wasn't even the high bidder. So he's part of the club. I mean, you have to understand. Like he's
also worth $50 billion
of
or
course.
something. Like
Some of these guys are good guys.
Some
I assume are fine people. Okay, but at the end of the day, David Tepper mixes in with them great. He was an inside man. He moved from the Steelers to the Panthers. He is a made man. It's that's Goodfellas style. Like he is. You touch him, it's over.
My aunt worked in a 40-yard line office with these people you're talking about for 2 years. He made Chris Ricca wear a tie and wouldn't let him drink in the thingy. Chris never went to a home game again. They moved back home about a year later. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I have point blank. It was run like 500 years ago, something down south, where a bunch of people showed up. Jerry Richardson was a complete clown show.
Yeah.
Now, they got him in and out in like one day.
It was crazy.
But old DB was kicking his legs off that office chair, just spinning around, couldn't touch the bottom.
Another rung of hell that he's from, so he was able to just spin his evil.
He's officially a pirate. I mean, he is in a yacht.
Yarr.
He claims
Don't
England.
you disrespect pirates this way, sir.
That's true.
What would Mike Leach say to you right now? He's not a pirate. He's the guy next to him. He's Smee. Freaking Smee.
Mike Leach is a hero. He's Jack Sparrow. Mike Leach is Jack Sparrow.
Well, let's not talk about Smee anymore.
Okay.
It's gross.
They used some scheme-based tinkering to get Smee out of that whole situation, thankfully. But he got
25 years later.
He ended up with an elephant end, and it was not pretty.
There's a lot of ways we can go.
When we keep on the elephant thing, I'm just worried about the trunk. That's all I'm worried about.
So we have no draft tonight from Greg Martin. No, because he's out. However, I do have some questions that we're gonna close the show out with.
By the way, Karen has a few questions too.
All right,
but I don't think I'll air those. No, I'll leave it here. No, it's all good.
Well, listen,
love you.
Ken and I are here at First Amendment.
Sorry
Sports
about the whole Intimates thing.
Oh yeah. Jesus. T just texted, the Entenmann's is my bottom half.
Woody Johnson, please report to the office.
Can I sleep here tonight?
I want to.
Oh, he's on the list, by the way.
Let's go out with this. This is sometimes what we do here. George.
Yeah, George. You want me to get the lights, Ken?
Yeah, can you get the lights?
Is this the elephant end?
We sometimes do this.
Is this the elephant end of the show?
I've never heard this whole term. This term is. I've been coming in for almost 10 years.
I will never heard it.
This is the pantsless portion of the tour.
The Panthers perk.
Listen,
it's a terrible purse. I'm going to tell you right now.
It's like Star Wars. It's like the scene.
I don't know if this is good for my brand. Guys.
Don't buy the purse.
I don't know if this is good for my brand.
Yeah.
Only take what you need. Which would you franchise to keep over the others, and why? Which would you franchise to keep over the others, and why? Our own free agents on defense: Wagner, Chin, Fowler, Igbenogany. George, you get to go first. Who would you keep over the others, and why?
Is this like kiss, marry, kill thing?
Yeah,
like,
kind of.
Igbenogany, don't like his name.
No. You get to pick one guy to keep. One guy to keep. Wagner, Chin, Fowler, or Igbenogany.
Wagner.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Is this a trick question?
Igbenogany.
All right, so then I would say
Boy,
Chin
crazy.
over Fowler. Fowler gets left in the dust.
I'm not taking Candy.
I actually think he's coming
blocked
back.
by wide receivers.
Wait,
I think
this is like a
Ibn
real.
Agne's
Good. Then there won't be in a running situation. He can run as fast as he can that way and do good.
Yeah, I think Ibn Agne's coming back.
Okay, that's fine.
Big
but
Benogany is a trusted slot
But
dude.
Wagner's the clear.
who can also go outside if you need him.
But I guess the question being like, are we franchising him? Is that's like you're just saying? Like, who
You,
would keep?
you just have to make a call.
Am I getting too deep into this scenario here?
You get to go first.
Yeah.
You get to pick a TV series drama: Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, The Wire, or The Sopranos. First pick.
Sopranos.
Oh, Game of Thrones. You got Breaking Bad or The Wire.
I got Breaking Bad.
Oh, The Wire, one of the greatest
Wire
shows of all
just got
time.
Wire.
Wait a
It's
minute,
like dropped
wait a minute.
on the floor.
I've never seen it.
You never seen The Wire?
No.
Oh my gosh, dude! Seriously?
I know. All
right,
now
well,
it's
I
too
mean-
old. I don't want to watch it.
No, it's still. But okay, so here's the thing: a lot of cases that's the case. Not this one.
Still relevant.
It's not about it being relevant. It's just so. I mean, you're close enough to it. You'll appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
It's just. Perfect.
I've been insulted and I don't know it. That was one of those
It's
inside
perfect.
jokes. I get it.
Listen.
I'm
you
not.
know
I'm not
all
afraid to
those-
say it. I'm not
wait,
a Wire fan.
Are we not talking about your? Okay.
I'm just not a Baltimorean. You know what I mean? Like, if it was, you know what I mean?
It was so gross. I was like, oh
Was it?
god, this
I
is
loved it.
terrible.
I'm
A lot
excited.
of prison scenes. Is that what we're talking about?
It's just a lot of negative. Just tough.
It was tough.
I'm
It was
sure
tough.
it's it's just dark and it's there's a lot.
Hey, I didn't take it.
It's an emotional.
You went
involvement.
Sopranos, right?
Yeah, I did.
Our own free agents. Other offense: Mariota, Ertz, Tressway, Cornelius Lucas. I'm gonna say Mariota over Ertz.
You're saying over anybody else over the field? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
Mariota over Ertz, Way, and Lucas.
Can I also say Mariota then?
No, you have to pick Ertz, Way, or Lucas.
Way.
Tressway over Zach Ertz. I know who you're
Next year.
picking.
You're talking about next year,
Yeah,
right?
right now.
Way.
Over Ertz?
No, like we've already re-signed Ertz.
No. This is for us. This
This
is for
is
us.
just like some make believe.
Yeah, make believe, dude.
Way.
You're literally
This
sitting
is
in front of a wooden
way.
bear.
Seriously?
You heard me.
Oh god.
Way.
It's a wooden bear wearing a construction helmet, and you're worried about reality? For goodness
That's
sake.
fair.
All right.
Are we going to talk about this painting, or we're just going to leave that down there?
Oh wait, hold on. You
Can-
guys,
may I?
just
May
real
I?
fast. No. I'm gonna do this right now.
Oh
Real
my
fast.
god, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Listen, we're gonna
Uncanny Kevin
we're gonna be
Ricca
right
right
back.
there.
We're
Look at
gonna
that.
be right back. Ken Harris is on, by the way.
That's
Ken Harris.
Brian Urlacher Strachan in the middle.
Yes.
In case anyone wants a 6'6"
George
sideline
George
runner to
gets to
tackle
rag
your
on
ass.
us for being
Making your way
painted.
in the world today.
Takes
Oh
everything
yes,
you got.
it is cheersy, right? It is
Yeah,
cheersy.
I don't know why. It's just, is there? Yeah.
The "will be right back" is the cheersy part.
I feel like no, it's 80s sitcom-y. Like
I
that
know.
when I saw this, I was like, I've got to make this like this.
Which meant they weren't. There was a snowstorm. The rabbit ears were down, and
Yeah.
shit broke out. It was UHF was done. No one knew anything.
Mhm.
So we just
T looks jacked in this, by the
I
way.
know
Look at
Urlacher.
dude.
He looks like Brian Urlacher.
that. Look at that. That's crazy.
I don't know.
Love it.
Yeah, I don't know where anyone's hands are, and I think we should be talking more about that. But let's just take a break for a second.
That's fine. Take a break.
All right, let's come back here. All right, let's finish this up. Okay, so let's see. I got to go back to my questions. All right, fantasy adventure movie franchises: Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Indiana Jones.
I'm going to go with
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Why?
Why am I going with Star Wars? Because Star Wars came out the year that I was born, and I was like raised on Star Wars. 1977 was the first one. Are you kidding
I'm
me?
next, and I got Indiana Jones.
Ooh.
God dang you!
I would have gone Star Wars.
Yeah, I would have gone Star Wars as well.
Although I got
It
a
was a trick-
lot of Harry Potter people in my
It was a
family.
trick question, so I have to pick between Harry Potter and Lord
It's
of
a
the Rings.
no-brainer. It's Harry Potter, dude. It's no-brainer.
Yeah, but the first couple movies are so terrible. They're like little kid movies. But
You
the
talking about the
last
books? Have you read the books? Are we?
Wait, are we doing? This isn't a book club, dude. That was last night and tomorrow night and every
What
other
in the
night.
living shit? Dude, we were really talking about some cool, fun stuff earlier.
And we went to book club.
We went from Entenmann's to Harry Potter.
Oh,
Wow.
Damn you, T.
Mordorf or whatever the shit.
Voldemort,
Oh yeah,
okay?
yeah. Of course it was.
You don't say his name, dude. All right, TV series comedy: Seinfeld, Friends, The Office, Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, damn it!
Well, it was 0-3 until I batted 250 with that Cheers.
That's
'cause
the
I
feel
don't
good.
like
That's
any
the
of those
feel
other
good one
shows.
hit. That's the one.
Everyone's
to trade
always
up for.
hated me for this. I don't care about any of those other shows.
That's trading up. That's
Not
trading
at
up in the
all.
first round. That's trading up in the
That's
first round to get him.
insane what you just said. That's insane.
I do read.
Seinfeld?
Yeah, I'm going. I get Seinfeld.
Yeah.
So you have to pick between Friends and The Office.
Office. It's not even close.
Fair enough.
I might take Office over Seinfeld. Just saying. Certainly over Cheers. Although,
all right.
Cheers I love.
Last question to get us out on the night.
Wait, it's over?
Wait, Britt Donnelly
That's the
says,
elephant end?
next up, favorite male adult film star. George, you first.
Babar. Dumbo? What are we talking about here?
Elephant end.
All right.
There's
Good
got to
night,
be
kids.
one more famous
One
elephant name.
Defensive player.
Dumbo.
From any other team.
Named after an elephant.
To add to ours.
From the
One
South
defensive player.
Sudan.
Let's take Micah Parsons out of it because that's the answer for
Right,
everybody.
so, I'm
That's the
sorry,
number
I
one.
was being rude. What was the question?
One defensive player from any other team to add to ours.
No Micah?
Micah
No
Parsons.
Micah.
Oh,
All right, well, then
no
we got to
Micah.
take out whatchamacallit. Miles.
No
Garrett,
Miles.
too.
No Miles. No
All
Micah.
right, that's fair.
I think when you have an answer, you should just be able to ring
Kyle
it out.
Hamilton.
Ooh, I love it. That's churning. You're churning the safeties. I love it. I like when you turn.
Oh,
safeties.
he can be. Oh, he's an outside linebacker, edge rusher, safety, slot corner, monster defender of all. I
He
love
sure
him.
is.
And you know who said he would be a bust? Lock in for you know who still says he's a bust right now? To for some reason because he's a 5'6" little pillowcase filled with yellow freaking
Man,
cake
What
mix.
is going
I will
on?
fight you, Lock in for
He's
He's horrible. And he keeps talking, and I keep reading it, and I keep wanting to
sorry.
drink more whiskey. And
Change
go
the
to,
channel.
What?
Listen, we were about to go to.
Wait,
I'm sorry, Jason.
I have
sorry,
one.
We're not bringing you on.
I have
Sorry,
one.
potato
Wait.
cakes. You'll be right back.
You have one, but But is
TJ
it?
Watt.
No, TJ. Damn it, that was mine. But that's okay. You can have TJ Watt. Go ahead.
Yeah. I took
TJ
it.
Watt would have been so
So
great.
say it again.
You say it again.
TJ Watt.
All right. So I just because TJ Watt's the obvious best answer,
Oh.
I'll say Will Anderson. I think he's the man. I think he's a stud. He does the same thing TJ Watt does, but he does a couple other things too. I love him. I said I would start with him. I actually do like. Will.
Can I get a 1B or like a number 2 pick? Jalen Carter.
No, but we already have. Like we have to add. We're adding him to our defense that we already have. You got to add someone who's going to fill a spot.
Fine. I thought we had an elephant in.
No, Jalen Carter's the best. Jalen Carter's a
I
freaking
take
animal.
Jalen Carter over Deron Payne right now.
I know, of course.
Without
There's
even
your answer.
question.
Jalen Carter, but so like no.
Did
no
you
TJ
see how
Watt?
he treated our?
So you're giving me
offensive
TJ
lineman?
Watt?
You can have him.
Yes.
I'll trade you Jalen Carter for TJ Watt as long as they're both on
Everything
the
I said about
Redskins.
Will Anderson, I believe in my heart, but I also believe it more about TJ Watt. So I'm taking TJ Watt, and you can have Jalen Carter. And by the way,
He
Jalen Carter
dominated that game.
was the best player in that entire draft. We talked about it that year. He
Could
was
not believe they got
the
him.
best one.
My heart sunk.
My
the best
1B, I forgot about him for a brief moment.
Max.
Vita Vea.
Oh, he's so chunky.
He's their heaviest.
Chunky.
He's their
We love the
healthiest
Samoans, dude.
healthiest paid player on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the highest paid guy on the roster because he's the biggest badass on the roster and he causes the most corruption on the roster.
But
Vita Vea.
you made a good point. We've been making it kind of all night long. All these big boys in the middle are getting paid.
A bazillion.
Yeah.
Well,
So that just tells you the analytics are there.
the stimulus checks work.
Championship.
It's all about the stimulus checks.
Stimmy.
Hey,
Give some of that stimmy.
They got $28 million of stimulus checks. And let's see, when billionaires get $28 million of stimulus checks, they spend it and they spend it on chunkiness.
tax free, right? Tax
free,
free, baby.
chunky,
Billionaire
chunky.
tax free stimuli.
They're paying by the chunk.
Mm.
What stimmy are you talking about? This is what Netflix stimmy or
No, the
or
salary cap
Yahoo?
bumped
Yeah,
up
but
big time.
Yeah,
Spice Channel
Yeah,
stimmy.
it's got to be it's
The
Spice
medium
Channel.
stimmy.
Yes. I don't know where the extra money came from. There's always more money.
I was gonna take that in a bad place, Kevin. I didn't.
They're
do it.
finding
when it goes sub, when the salary cap goes sub, that's when all those wiggly lines happen, right?
Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is they were like, oh my gosh.
Right.
I didn't realize we have another $28 million sitting over here.
And the
No, we
Jets,
didn't even know about.
exactly. The Jets fans are like looking the
Wait,
whole
yeah.
offseason like, I think I saw a boob.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah, it's
20
like,
million
wait,
for
wait,
you,
wait.
Woody. And he's like, oh yeah, we'll just take this
We're
and
just gonna give it all.
I think we still owe it to Aaron Rodgers, actually. I think they do.
Okay, so does he
Hijack.
does he get over? Does he get over $40 billion to play next year?
How could you?
No, there's only one team left, and they're not gonna. It's not
I
gonna work.
know. How could you?
What team is that?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Steelers.
No, it's not Pittsburgh.
He's not gonna. I mean, where's he
Tennessee.
gonna go?
You don't think the New York Giants will?
Of course they'd try.
figure
but-
out a way to pay
No
overpay him.
chance.
Yeah,
the
but-
only way they
yeah,
can get
but-
him is if they pay
Yeah, but
overpay him.
Dabo seems like a pretty cool guy, and it's like this dude Rodgers is a dick.
Can I be
he's
honest,
like,
though?
yeah.
I would hate to see him go to the Giants, just because I'm still scared of him. You know.
Oh, he's
a little bit. You know, he's got something left in him.
He's not.
I'd rather.
They beat us with DeVito, with Danny DeVito.
He's Hawaska filled now. He doesn't scare me at all anymore. He used to be a gunslinger. Now he's like, maybe I should just shoot a bow and arrow. He's
Kevin,
lost
relax.
He's
relax.
Exactly.
Relax.
We've been getting beat by the worst possible quarterbacks ever for the New York Giants, playing against
Not
the
with
worst.
T.J. Watt and Jalen Carter on our team now.
That's true. But all I'm saying is, and I hate to bring it up, but all I'm saying is we've witnessed the New York Giants beat us in the worst possible ways with quarterback, like terrible quarterbacks on our side, terrible quarterback. It just doesn't matter with them. Aaron Rodgers is going to Aaron Rodgers himself all the way. I love him. He's one of my all-time favorite. He's gonna telepathically Aaron Rodgers himself into a spot. And
Hawaska gets you there.
Yeah.
But Pittsburgh doesn't like all that shit. He is the most un-Pittsburgh quarterback we will see in a very long time.
Minnesota is tantalizing though for him because Justin Jefferson is sitting there.
That's so Favre of him.
I know. That's the only reason why it hasn't happened yet.
Minnesota.
That would be amazing.
That's the only reason why it hasn't happened yet is because of that. I think it's a thing.
But you got. I guess you got JJ on a rookie contract, and you're not paying Sam Darnold, and you got. I don't know what their salary cap situation's like, but
I don't either. But I know that if you tell me that I can, they have
by
Aaron
JJ,
Jones,
I mean JJ McCarthy.
If he does that to the Jets and to Minnesota, then sends an unhealthy dong pick to local reporters,
Yes.
the quadfecta.
That would be
the quadfecta.
That would be
really.
it. It'd be
and then
over.
steals a bunch of money from whatever that place where Brett Favre stole the money from for a volleyball stadium.
Oh yeah.
And then claims traumatic brain
You mean
injury.
the University of Southern Mississippi?
Oh, and then gets into a nose-to-nose argument with Mark Gastineau at a card signing.
But I will say, Gastineau was like, "You hurt me.
You hurt me
when you did that," and I was like, "Oh God, this is Karen v. Karen," and I don't want. Sorry, no offense.
Karen,
I don't want any trouble.
Karen, go to bed.
We're not talking about this anymore.
Right, I mean,
5 minutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, go ahead.
Am I allowed to go?
Yeah,
I don't want any trouble. I'm gonna be trying to fit that on before the night.
We appreciate everybody hanging out with us on a Tuesday night.
Ain't happening.
Thank you so much
You
to
guys
George
are the
Correa
best, man.
for
Thanks
hanging
for
out with
having
us.
us.
If
This
you
is fun.
stuck it out with us for this
I'll be
far,
back next week. Yes.
Yes, I mean, yeah, of course. You could be here tomorrow morning, obviously, for 2 days.
Just put some pants on. That's all we ask.
That's all we
next
ask.
time.
He's Kevin Ricca.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was fun as hell hanging out with our guy George.
Thanks, boys.
Just rocking down the basement tonight, and it's so fun to watch every second about what's happening. Let's let AP cook, like all the memes and the kids have been saying.
Let him cook.
Let him cook.
Yeah, we're about to pick up a lot
We
of
ate
dudes.
last year, didn't we?
Yeah,
All right.
at
Well,
this exact time.
we're hungry again, but let's be patient hungry because we know we're about to get some real shit. Some Maggianos.
Robert Cohen, I'm going to throw you up here real fast. Absolutely. Shout out to T. We appreciate you, man. We will be back in 7 days. We will have official additions to the roster and some fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah, man.
Don't worry about it. It'll be Tuesday. It's the greatest night of the week. What else do you want in life? I'm Ken Meringolo. Thank God it's Tuesday. We are still live. E.O. Anderson on the West Coast. We haven't figured out our brand new theme music yet. So until then, we're just gonna keep rocking with this little track, George, which all the kids are dancing to.
Shout out back to Robert Cohen for checking on T every week. Same with all you guys, but appreciate it. Ken Harris, as I speak. Appreciate you guys, man.
Thanks for having me, boys.
We're still
This
live.
is dedicated to George Gareda. How did you get here tonight? Why didn't you get here earlier, by the way?
I've been here all day. I'm ready to go.
I meant like years ago, Coach.
I'm in.
Check out this picture, George.
Oh,
Damn. Can we get out on that?
I like it. I like the alpha high around the neck that Kevin's doing to you right there. I like it.
Oh yeah.
It's
I'm
solid
holding
alpha
on
move.
for dear life.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Weeble and wobble.